we go straight across to our reporters who are joining us on that big expose. Anvit Srivastav, you're live with us from the national capital, from the newsroom. Purnima Murli is joining us from Chennai. Anvit, I'm coming to you first. Over and over again, this school child says they came in, they wanted to give us, we were told that they are going to give us a lecture on cell phones, the harmful effects of cell phone. But this lecture soon graduates to a lecture on Christianity, how Christianity is the religion that they need to convert to. If they do that, their life will be happy, their life will be fulfilled, they'll have money, etc. When this child is referring to they, who is this they and who allowed this they to come into a government school and start preaching Christianity to children as, as young as from class 1 to class 5? This is plain criminal.
Very, very correct, Shreya. And this is the point that, let me mention that this child, the school he was studying in was run by, a Hindu staff totally.
Okay.
And that was the way of entering the school, that these groups, and he is differing they to people, to groups who are affiliated with different missionaries. And this is the modus operandi that they have adopted to enter a school and be able to talk to children. That they say we'll give lectures on maybe misuses of cell phones, talking to them about technology and other things related to science or moral science particularly. And this is the way they have adopted to enter a particular school and be able to talk to a batch of children. And then gradually they graduate to talking to them about, like, do you pray? And then they'll ask what is the method of praying, and then they would say that have you ever benefited with praying? And most of the children, when they say no, they say that because your method of praying is wrong. Do you read a book while praying? They said no. So they say that there's a Bible which you should read while praying. And the most worrying is that when these children are told that if you don't resort to this particular method of praying, or if you do not convert, you'll academically not do better. They have been told that to attain academic excellence, and even after schooling, to be able to take care of your parents, to be a good person in life, and to attain success, you have to convert to Christianity. And what amount of pressure does this create into a child's mind who is still studying in 3rd standard or 4th standard or maybe 6th standard?
Absolutely. And as you're pointing out, I just want to clarify this for our viewers, and Anvit, I want you to come in here. This was a government school that we are talking about, right? Or is this a privately run school?
Yes, see, we have gone to many schools. This particular school was a private school, but we also have footages from government schools who have said that yes, they have caught some teachers, and there have been groups who come in who say that we will give lectures on something else, but they eventually end up telling about Christianity. We have visuals from government schools, we have students from government schools talking to us on camera. And this particular child that we showed, this is a clip of to our viewers, he is not the only child we have met. It's just that his father was the only one who agreed to come on camera and speak to us. There were many other children who have spoken to us, and just to keep their privacy intact, we have when they have refused, we have not agreed, we have not taken them on camera. But many children are facing this the same thing. They have spoken to us, they have spoken to us off camera, their parents have spoken to us, even people who are running schools in areas like Kanyakumari, Nagarkoil, Thoothukudi, Tiruchendur, Thirunelveli, all these areas of South Tamil Nadu. When we visited these schools, they have agreed that yes, these groups approach them. Some schools have successfully managed to keep them out of their premises, while some have fallen into this trap that the children will be taught things about moral science. And gradually, when children come forward and tell school administration that they have not actually been taught about moral science, but it ended up as a lecture on something religious, that one religion is better than other, or you should follow one particular religion. They have also we have also students on camera who had been telling us that they had been taught that Hindus are Satans or other religions are bad. So what kind of pressure? We recently in January saw how a girl named Lavanya, what fate she met. Do we want more children to meet similar fate? So the kind of pressure they are creating on children by forcing them to that, taking the name of academic excellence, they're saying you'll get better marks from other students if you follow a particular religion.
This is brainwashing, and this is brainwashing by deceit. Purnima Murli, come in here. This is not the first case we are seeing. Anvit has done this extensive investigation where he is telling us that this class 3 student is not the only one that they have spoken to. They have spoken to children and parents across South Tamil Nadu, and across South Tamil Nadu, you have testimonies of parents and children saying these missionaries come to school for one purpose, and they end up giving lectures on Christianity and telling these very young students how Hindu gods are Satans. I want to ask you, Lavanya has happened. When a 17-year-old girl commits suicide because she's being forced to convert, that is something that should shake the government in the state and say, all right, this is a pattern, we need to do something about it. But it seems nothing's done about it.
Absolutely. There were two such incidents reported. One, of course, was Lavanya, where she committed suicide because 2 years before she took that drastic step. She was asked to convert to Christianity, and she denied. And then she said what followed was harassing her for 2 years, making her clean the toilets. And even then, when this incident was reported, Lavanya's case, within a span of 12 hours, the police SP had held a press conference ruling out the possibility of conversion angle, and even the health minister of the state, the education minister, I beg your pardon, had made it very clear that they had spoken to other school children from the government school, and all of them denied the possibility of conversion angle. They said that none of the girls were in fact asked to convert to Christianity, and ruled out the possibility, which is why the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court in its order said that there needs to be a thorough and fair probe into this. The Tamil Nadu government did not do that, which is why this case needs to be transferred to the CBI. This was something that the judge had observed, saying that the investigation was not done properly, and they did not even check the possibility of the conversion angle. And last week, once again, we've seen a teacher being suspended because children had or students had made revelations saying that they were asked to read the Bible, and that the teacher had said bad things about Bhagavad Gita. All these also happened last week. There was no FIR registered, which is why the Tamil Nadu government needs to look into the evidence that our colleague has in fact done thoroughly in Thoothukudi, Kanyakumari. And this is not just with private schools, even government related schools. But so far the Tamil Nadu government had turned a blind eye. Now with this evidence, we'll have to wait and see if the Tamil Nadu government takes this into consideration and does a thorough and fair investigation into this case.
Purnima Murli, I want to ask you why the Tamil Nadu government led by the DMK is turning a blind eye to all the conversions that are being reported in the press. Is it because the minority community, in this case the Christian community, forms a large vote bank for them?
Absolutely, vote bank does play a crucial role, which is why such sensitive issues are not addressed properly. Not just with the DMK, even the AIADMK. This is an open secret that yes, in pockets in Kanyakumari and Thoothukudi, this is something that we've heard of how children are now being approached to convert to Christianity. This is something that we've heard. But whatever government was in place, no one had in fact looked into this, or complaints by parents were also not considered seriously so far. Because vote bank does play an important role, which is why even over the last 3 months, when we've heard such complaints from these pockets, no action was taken, no FIR was registered. So we'll have to wait and see, at least with ample evidence, will the DMK government now consider doing something about it, because this is something that we've heard. A thorough investigation reveals that yes, children are being the vulnerable group, are being approached, but will the government take action? That remains to be seen. With the evidence, we'll have to see how the government reacts to it, Shreya.
Okay, and as we are saying, this is an extensive investigation. This is not just about talking to one child, who has faced these missionaries, and missionaries have asked him to convert or read the Bible, etc.